Hi, welcome back to the Dylan Rounds case. Welcome if you're currently here in the live chat. I appreciate it. If you didn't watch last night's video, make sure to check it out after this. A little bit of drama time, a little bit of serious talk if you're interested in that. I'll provide a link down below in the pinned comment section, okay? Today it's going to be a little bit more relaxed, but we're still focusing on Dylan Rounds, okay? I know there is time afterwards. We'll look at some bits and bobs, okay? Some people will know what I mean, okay? I think we can take a look at that forum page because we've been away from it for some time now. I think we're on page 14. The maximum number of pages on that forum is 24, so we are catching up. Interesting to see what shifts, what changes. Does it get a little bit up to date with what we know of now? Maybe, maybe not. Time will tell. And also what we need to do is check the comments out of the last video as well. See if I've missed anything. We need to respond back to stuff. And there's some additional responses by you know who, Mr. Impetuous, okay? Just see what he's got to say, because he did pop in. Interesting last night how he popped in when they were live at the same time, so it must have been of some importance to them to check on in, even though they were doing their own stuff. So you can see that psychological obsession with him, Mr. Impetuous, forming towards me, which isn't really necessary, but you know, what we're going to start seeing probably in a short burst, true reflections of people, how they act. Of course, some people have said, well, I act like this online to how I do in real life, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. But we can see things being extracted a little bit more, almost like some kind of human experiment test subjects. That is what is happening as we go along indirectly within these cases. We'll just see how things go. All natural, of course. Obsessions forming, going back and forth, back and forth. Sometimes they'll do more damage to themselves just by the way they respond. So it's just like, let it happen. And maybe with time, maybe more to do with the Dylan Rounds case itself, certain people fade away and that's it, dust to dust. We'll see. But yeah, shout out to Ellen Berg last night for her presence in the chat. Was it last night? Nope. I think it was the night before, wasn't it? I should be saying shout out to Salty Pancakes. That's who it is. Salty Pancakes. Joseph kept calling him Sally, and I thought, who the fuck's Sally? I've never seen Sally. Sally the salad tosser. Don't know. But yeah, Pancakes popping in, so that was good of him. See his thoughts about what was covered and discussed. And yeah, I don't think there's really much else I can say at this moment in time. I said you can share your thoughts, opinions in the live chat as we do go along. You can talk about a range of other things in between. And yeah, is there any like points that may have not been made clear last night? Just thinking. Probably it might have not been mentioned specifically, so I'll say it now, or I'll at least repeat it now, so there's at least repetition, which is important, and consistency, of course, as a symbolic microcosm of the coverage of this case, right? So when it comes to tagging people, there's a difference between tagging and including a person's name in the title, in the description of your video, okay? Tagging could be also known as a mention. A literal tag is what you get when you're editing your videos in a YouTube studio mode. You got the title, enter whatever title, then you got the description, fill in the description, add in hashtags, and then further down the screen you've got the tag section where you type in a keyword and press enter, and then it's implemented. Something like keywords to if you used to search on YouTube, you'd be more likely to find that video which uses that word maybe within its title, in its description, hashtag format, or just in the tag section. A hashtag can also be like almost like a link. So if you click on it, it takes you to a page. In terms of YouTube, like if you've got Kenny Veach, hashtag Kenny Veach, you click on that, if it's on YouTube, it will take you to the YouTube homepage of all known videos which use the hashtag Kenny Veach. So that's how it can guide you and direct you around to looking for other stuff, right? And sometimes what it does, when you use the hashtag, if it's a well-known one or a fairly well-used one, it will actually give a certain numbers of either views or videos which have used that hashtag feature. So with mine, it's classified as under 100. So my username has been used as a hashtag under 100 times or for like 100 videos. And then the same applies with you know who, okay? But yeah, as for you know who and those external forces saying, why are you using, the person's like tag? Why are you tagging them? No, it don't quite work like that. People that use a username of an individual in a title, you're not exactly tagging. It's not the correct wording. It's just the title of the video which represents the talking points of what's going to be talked about in the video. It's that straightforward, okay? So if for whatever reason there was a video of me getting chased down by an elephant and Weedleby was riding it, Gorilla Jack came along in a tuk-tuk, picked me up, drove off, you could probably title it Elephant Rampage ridden by Weedleby, Gorilla Jack comes to the rescue. I've not tagged them. I've just explained briefly overall the situation of the video, the theme, the topic, what it's about specifically, right? That's exactly what happens with all the other videos with the Dylan Brown's case. If there is a specific key important talking point, theme, topic, then it will be included in the title. It's very common sense. And for these people to claim they know what they're doing on YouTube, they don't seem to understand the terms and wordings very well. So once again, failing, very disappointing. You need to keep up, catch up, come on, simple. So yeah, Gorilla Jack situation. Then if I did a hashtag, included Gorilla Jack, which has been done a little bit, hashtag Weedleby or something, then it would take you to other videos which may have used, those hashtags, okay? Now, a mention, right, is kind of like tagging, but it's not literally called a tag, it's called a mention. You have to type in the @ symbol, kind of like with email addresses, @com or something, So you do at the beginning in the description section or the title section, type in the username of someone. It doesn't always work, take that in mind, probably because of stupid, dodgy, hard to find usernames at times. Sometimes if you use the tag of, not called a tag, if you use the label of someone, what's that, some kind of label tag, it's actually underneath the person's username. For most people, it's like a default. It'll be maybe their username with a few numbers after it. And the handle is just basically another way of finding people quicker. My handle is @WLW. Full stop. Okay. Just makes it easier to, I guess, find people on YouTube search, but also when you are mentioning others. So you do the @ symbol, type in a person's username, it should come up with the specific one or maybe a list of them. You select the correct one and then it's embedded into the video. And then whenever you've done everything, press save, press upload, make it public, it's uploaded, there you go. And you will get a personal notification, top right corner of the screen, the bell icon. It'll have like a little number next to it, depends how many times you've been mentioned by people. Click on it, and then there'll be the tab of standard messages, notifications, and then another tab you click on called mentions. You click on mentions, and then it will list the channel and the video where you've been tagged to, okay? And then you can view it. It's quite useful. It's been successful. I've, used it in some of my videos. Gorilla Jack, Weedleby have used it to me as well. So it's like, how should I word it? Obviously, if you're subscribed to someone, you will get notifications, but as we know with YouTube, it doesn't always work. Other times, I guess this mention is another way of notifying someone directly that there is a video out and it's for you or something you may like, and then people can check it out. That's what I've done. So I guess it's another decent feature which has been added, and another alternative, which is always good. And I just wanted to incorporate it into this video, this talking point, because as it was worded poorly last night by some, individuals, just making it clear so people understand what feature is what, which action that does and what that causes, okay? As for the actual tags, where you can put the people's names in, is it as important? I mean, it's important to an extent, but mainly it's the title that makes the most sense. And I believe, you know who, Mr. Impetuous, ended up getting a bit excited, thinking, ooh, because he arranged the words in that way, because he mentioned that person's name before Dylan's name. Ooh, yes. Not really. Just that the key talking point was about that plonker, okay? It was relevant. Followed by Dylan Brown's drama, okay? Sometimes it's just down to sentencing. You call it Dylan Rounds, who, insert name. It doesn't flow. Whereas if you type in insert person's name, breakdown, meltdown, reaction, whatever it might be, / or that line going down the middle to separate it, to break it, and then name of topic. So it could be the theme followed by the name of the topic, or the name of the topic followed by the theme, okay? Sometimes in the past I've called it Dylan Rounds case / pond analysed, something like that. But sometimes it can just be one whole sentence if it follows Dylan Rounds change in behaviour, Dylan Rounds missing. More simplistic, right? So it's just really fiddling around with the titles of videos, because the one thing I don't want to do is for some videos, the important ones, to sound too repetitive, okay? If you look back in recent time, quite a few of them say discussion, and that's because it is a discussion. It's looking back. We're just seeing what can show up and what can pop up. It has generated some ideas for some videos which have come later and have been specifically worded, right? So, not completely saying the discussion videos are just flat out dead, but, they are what they are, okay? Whereas if something was discovered like a bone or a skull, and I uploaded a video next, I'd be literally calling it that, like skull found, bone found. If I did a video where it was called Dylan Rounds discussion and there was like footage where they found Dylan Rounds, that has not happened. But if that was the case, how many people would miss that video? Several, okay? If you want to spread awareness, it's got to be clear. Not just the title, but also how you voice things. Now still, there can be misunderstandings, as we've clearly seen previously when it's come to titles of my videos. But, when you look back over them, when you read them properly, or you've got some form of intelligence, which I know I'm asking for a bit too much, I know, you might be able to understand it, okay? So, it's under control, right? But reality, let's be realistic. If you had a video with footage of remains found and you called it Dylan Rounds discussion, 500-600 people would watch it. That's it. What happens after it? Not much. If you upload the video with the title Remains Found 100% confirmed, depending who you are, because that also plays a role as well, you could get 10,000, pushing it 20,000. If you're somewhat popular, 200,000 views, just like that. And this is where that certain behaviour by some people kick in. Views. Well, technically, if there is an important point, an important finding, an important discovery or piece of information that 100% needs to be spread to alert people Of course, you need as many people to hear about it as possible. Simple as, okay? You know, if you, because if you didn't word it like that and you weren't too focused about, oh, well, it doesn't matter who finds out, it doesn't matter if not many people know about it, it's almost like having the same mentality, supposedly, as Brookie, who supposedly had, like, audio or some kind of report built with Brenner, and it's like sitting back, oh, well, yeah. It's like, if you got something, come on, do something. So, you can either be like, more like Brookie, or you can, try and push forwards with clarity and depth. I'm just trying to think of anything else. Maybe levels of hypocrisy might show up again, like examples, because there was some in my mind, but they've kind of like moved away again. But let's take a look at the comment section of last night's video just to see if it might bring back something into my memory. Okay, so here we are. Let's check it. So it's on newest, and we'll go all the way down first of all. So we've got Tom Evans' comment saying JT started a storyline and has used it in different forms for 8 months. It has gotten the case nowhere, but it has lined his pockets. He needs to move along so the case can get some new enlightenment. Interesting way of wording things. As for the pocket part, that will be the super chats. I mean, I'm in no position to be speaking, of course, but in the position of the general public who are on the outside looking in to someone like their channel, you'd be thinking, okay, so this JT guy and Mr. Impetuous are a bit, not great, and other people supposedly think the same. But then you should start thinking as well that, what about the people that watch and support at the same time, okay? There's a difference between watching and then watching in addition to supporting to a degree, to an extent. Technically, and I'm not exactly saying this, but this is what other people would be thinking, so make sure you're listening to how I word things specifically. Some people would say, well, you're watching and you're supporting, and technically you're acknowledging and thinking it's acceptable for a certain person to behave in such a way like that, which could be deemed as not so great, maybe towards the case or in general in life. You know what I'm saying? That's, it's just what other people think, okay? But yeah, as for the bit about moving aside so the case can get some new enlightenment, kind of like fresh eyes, a fresh mindset, someone new coming on in, has that really happened? Not at all. If you think about it, like, let's just say one thing quick. I just had a brief look. Doug, yeah, he did his little live stream with Candice Cooley recently, okay? The other two plonkers, they're kind of doing their own thing, of course, still. Earthworm Entertainment, he's doing more vlog series now, okay? Family vlogs, trips to the zoo, fair enough. Ty Corbin has gone very quiet, from at least what I have seen and heard of. Shack Lady is still covering the case, but not like full on like every day, which is understandable. Salty Pancakes is still, kind of hovering a bit on the case, which is good, a positive in a way. But really, it's gone very quiet, like literally very quiet, because we've seen the waves where people have moved on, which, yeah, makes sense, going on to other cases too, as well as viewers. But there's always like a little constant in the background. Whether you agree or disagree, you had the likes of Lance doing his exploring videos out there, okay? And then Ty as well, a little bit. But then it was mainly just Lance, at least on YouTube, providing his own videos. So there was still always something going on in the background, right? But now it's kind of like empty, which maybe to some people is a bit disappointing, right? And others might be celebrating, I don't know. But technically, on like on a certain basis, and I keep saying technically because I don't want to be for definite, I'm kind of like the last person standing in a way, at least just for the media coverage of keeping a case alive, okay, specifically that term used. But yeah, It's almost becoming a bit like a ghost town in a way. Does anyone know what's happened to Ty Corbyn? And does anyone know what has happened to Quinton, the guy with the brown profile default picture? Because both those two have gone very quiet recently. Maybe they've just been busy with stuff in real life, okay, but they've just not shown up at all whatsoever. I don't know if they've appeared on other people's live shows in between. I don't think so. A few people in my chat who watch other people's videos have also said, where are they? I don't know. I don't know what's going on. The last video Ty Corbyn uploaded to his channel was Phyllis in some kind of swimming pool. I think it was like either some kind of therapy or some kind of just like workout exercise, something like that. And that was like 9-10 days ago. So been a bit quiet recently. Considering some of the videos I've uploaded, you would have thought, little posse backup gang would have come in, maybe defended someone's name or tried to highlight a certain point, but that seems to be the case. Was I on good terms with Ty Corbyn last time? I think so. Because he had a little mini meltdown and then he apologised afterwards. There was just a little bit of a misunderstanding. It was resolved. But then after that, not much. As for Quinton, not had any bad run-ins with him, but that's gone quiet as well. Anyway, feel free to talk about those like individuals and what's happened, possible ideas, theories, or if you've heard of anything, feel free. But we're just going to continue reading. So Mr. Impetuous says, yet here is Warlike Ref making you-know-who the focal point of his show again, even putting Jim's name in hashtag and in the title before Dylan Rounds. Tom Evans, if you guys think JT and I are BS, then it's simple. Stop talking about us, tagging us and putting photos in your thumbnail. This is a coward move. The language, once again, is very, very poor. Half talking in third person and half talking referring directly to me. It's just really poorly worded. It's just abysmal. It's disastrous. It's a little bit disgusting. I think you need to improve your sentence structure, please. But yeah, I've clearly explained at the beginning of this video the difference between tagging and mentioning and tagging, the actual tag section, a hashtag, the title itself, all different features and methods. Some directly notify the individual about a video made, such as the mention button. Well, actually, I think it's only really the mention button which directly acknowledges to that person that's been mentioned. Everything else, they'll just find in their own time. Well, that's if they're obsessed, and of course it shows how. Says it's a coward move to include a photo of the relevant person in a thumbnail. Right, that's probably one of the most stupidest lines I have heard in quite a while. Well done, Mr. Impetuous. You've done a very good job there. Yeah, so next time I get flattened by a cow falling from the sky, instead I'll use a profile picture of a tractor. Yeah, because it's a cowardly move. A cowardly cow move. Move over. Oh, please. Yeah, it's just so stupid, And this is what's funny. Whether it be directly from Mr. Impetuous or the other individual, you can't use a relevant photo of them if it's relevant to the title of the video. So you're supposed to use some random photo instead, but then the photo wouldn't match with the title or the title wouldn't match with the photo. So then it becomes clickbait. They've also called out one for supposedly making clickbait videos. So really, you're in a lose-lose situation. You use a title, supposedly tag, or use a relevant photo, and you're called out for being cowardly. But then if you don't do that and you're not cowardly, you're called clickbait because it's not relevant to what you're actually talking about in the video. But if you want it to be relevant to what you're talking about in the video, then you're called a coward. That is a very stupid situation, Mr. Impetuous. I mean, it's like playing a game of chess upside down without any pieces. You're not going to be making any moves, are you? No. I mean, Gorilla Jack is an exception. He's got his own pawns and bits and bobs in his gorilla monkey sack, which he can pull out, right? Not everyone's got that feature. Huh. I replied back, coward move said by the Pratt in the mask. You are wearing a mask. Tom Evans, coward, take a look in the mirror. Then Mr. Impetuous says, everyone knows who I am and why I do what I do. It's the reason you started being more than a Pratt in his mom's apartment talking about us. It's called being interesting. Try doing a show where you don't tag insert name. P.S. You do not have permission to use JTTV photos or footage, so be careful. You can highlight it as a positive for Mr. Impetuous for being clear and direct this time, saying you can't do this, you can't do that, giving a heads up for the future. I can appreciate and acknowledge that. Sets boundaries, okay? Kind of like Emile Durkheim within society. Crime is necessary to an extent. You know, then it forms the boundaries of what can be done and what can't be done. And this is kind of like what's being demonstrated here. Yet another little microcosm of society, okay? Although I don't think society wears masks left, right and centre unless Mr. Impetuous is a part of Antifa, which, you know, you never know. But, yeah, I mean, technically, no photos were used. Technically, no footage was used. It kind of was in between of a screenshot. So I made my own photo, my own art piece. So technically, you know, Creative Commons, public domain. Yeah. What did I respond back with? I've made 1,293 videos on my channel without his name, so it's all under control. And that is true. I mean, is it possible to check the videos? Yeah, there you go. A little voice break there. Must be recalibrating my voice. But as you can see, 1,300 videos made, uploaded to my channel, and the majority of them are completely separate from the two Pratts. Okay. Oh, did I just flash an image of JT? Oops. What's this? Donnie does the dishes. Oh my God, gender equality. Keep hiding behind your mask. Joseph, this is the problem. Why so nasty to Raf? I don't see one reason for it, and I don't think it's justified. I mean, to put it just very brief, okay, the reason why certain obsessions and frustrations are building, kind of like sexual frustration, is because they can't penetrate the walls of Warlight Ref, okay? It's just not happening, simple as. Whilst they've taken over the first, second, third, and maybe fourth crusade on other channels, they have impregnated, okay? They've left their mark, they've left their stain, they've left a form of glory and legacy in their trail, okay? But through the wooded, dense, thick forest, they've encountered blockages, roadblocks. What by? Who knows? It's unknown of. But whatever happens in that forest, does it anyone hear outside of it? No, okay? So there's a bit of an entanglement going on at this moment in time. They're not able to maybe, I guess, reclaim Rome. They can't reclaim it. What a shame. But oh well, let's move onwards. So I think that clears that comment up. Gorilla Jack, JT is a liar who supports Mr. Impetuous, who can't get a real job. I don't know his situation. Lindsay, Warlight Ref, you're so funny. Shout out to Lindsay Robinson. I think she might be a new viewer. Weedleby, I'm going to be hunting for the pig video. I really thought it was on Salties, but I haven't seen it since early on. And in fact, I forgot about it until I thought she did provide a link, unless she deleted it. Jen T. Who is John Lee Hornback and what are his allegations? Nice. So Black Dove has left a comment once again. That's good to see. Let's give it a quick read. Oh, Ty Coleman's just popped up 1 hour ago. Fuck me. Fuck me. This is what... I sound like Gordon Ramsay now. This is what happens. You know, suddenly create a video or in the process of making the video. Take that in mind because of pre-recordedness. And then you say something or you've got something in your mind and then it happens and it's like, oh, what a coincidence that is. Sometimes it'll be a prediction made outwards, which other people witness here. And then sometimes you make a prediction in your head and it happens. Kind of like how I kind of had a sense and a feeling when I was opening that pack in FIFA 23 Ultimate Team. I would pack Kylian Mbappe, my boy, young one. Yeah, that's what happened. Not too bad. 25 games and 32 goals scored, 3 assists. Yeah, it's okay. But let's just link back to Black Dove. So Black Dove responds to Gen T about John Lee Hornback, saying, old RSO who supposedly lives in Montello, Lucin area, who allegedly told a social worker Jim Terry knows that, in quotes, they did the same thing to Dylan they did to the girls, which caused a fallout between Candice Cooley and Jim Terry early on. I thought it was important if true. The way Black Dove has worded that little paragraph is good. He's not gone like 100% all in, not dug himself into a hole. He's been careful with his wording, which is somewhat refreshing to see considering how other people have been in the case, of course. If it is true, that is interesting because the majority, I guess, consensus has been the fallout was the whole pushing of Dylan being gay fairy by you-know-who in the beginning or early stages. But then it's transpired to people recently saying that it was supposedly Kurt Wadsworth that was first pushing it, and then JT got hold of it or started forming it himself and then presenting it to Candice, and then that's what the falling out was. But there's this in addition as well that's going on. Makes you think a little couple more factors to the situation. It says Lucin area who told a social worker, Jim Tay, knows that they did. So all I want to know is when they say they know what they did the same to Dylan as they did to the girls, are they talking about the girls in Montello? Because I have heard stories, very brief, rough ones, that females of a certain age mistreated, not so pleasant things happening to them. I mean, even if that was kind of uncertain, at least the cases what we've heard of with the past, the likes of maybe Scott, Troy Wadsworth, how they've treated like a 15-year-old, one or the other of the guys that was responsible. Even talk about sitting on the lap and performing oral or something. That's like what was mentioned in the article. So even if that's just one event, it does make you think, well, there could have been a couple more with time, right? You never know, I mean, what the odd local from Montello has said in recent time that it's not that bad, Montello, but some of the newer people that have moved in since, they've been the troublemakers, the ones on the outer skirts. Maybe, right? Because we can do it at some point. I'll do a poll right now because it's a video I was meaning to do, but it wasn't like really important, but it's still somewhat of interest considering it might be a bit more updated to a past website I looked at. And it's to do with like statistics within Montello. Would you like to see a video on that? And we just talk about it, have a look, see what it's all about. Do you want to see a video like that? Feel free to vote right now. But yeah, let's carry on reading. Black Dove also says, this was all said around the time I first called into Tyler Feller's show. It was very early on and around the time Miss Lucin called in and alleged that her son was accosted by searchers looking for Dylan. Was it anything? I don't know. Same goes for the other stuff I mentioned in videos and comments. Cops not wanting to look at potential evidence because it was too hot. They had to walk. That singular one down there where it's quite simplistic in how it's stated, If that is true, that is interesting. And although it could be considered somewhat of a rumour, it might be a little bit more believable, that one, based off similar patterns of behaviour by the LE previous, okay? The way LE came up with excuses, oh, it's raining, we don't want the cadaver dogs to be used because it's not a 100% success rate, it's only a 20%, so we're not going to do it. Oh, we've got the drones, or we've got some of the resources and equipment, but we haven't got the people here, the actual pilots to pilot it. So yeah, we can't do it, and so on, right? So it wouldn't surprise me if the LE didn't want to move about because they had to do it on foot because of the weather, the temperature. I mean, just simply going out there, covering that distance from where they're stationed at and going into Luton is probably going to be annoying for them to begin with, right? Day in, day out, up to a certain point, and then this, yeah. And with them being awkward and maybe having a few issues attitude-wise, possibly, makes you think. Also, what I will say is, do you believe that the LE did make fun of Candice Cooley? Because that's what Candice Cooley was saying in some of the older interviews, how the LE were joking and disrespecting her. Do you think that's truly the case, or could it have been a misunderstanding? But speaking of which, Ty Corbyn from 1 hour ago has popped in. Let's read it and see what's been said. Ty Corbyn says, Jim neglected to tell you that the Black Wing aircraft out of Offutt Air Force Base, Nebraska, that did fly exactly where said, Jim was on a three-way call with me and the FBI. The FBI wanted to know how he knew about the aircraft and how he knew about the money supposedly buried. Ask Jim Blackdove. You have been right about a lot of things, but you are wrong about this specific flight. 2 days in a row, Christopher was absolutely correct. He works on the Air Force Base that uses this air space. Okay, interesting. I can't say too much, but leave your thoughts and reactions down below. Ty Corbyn stepping back in. We are seeing a bit of a pattern in recent time, or maybe the past month or two, where Ty Corbyn is defending, stepping up for Jim Terry in between. I don't know if it's like a little bitch boy moment, a little cheerleader band, or it is what it is. The truth is the truth. One or the other. You can share your thoughts down below. I mean, from the looks of it, Black Dove is an expert, or somewhat of an expert, has some form of knowledge when it comes to, I guess, aircraft, planes, aviation, bits and bobs like that, and all the stuff in between. But, Ty Corbyn and Jim having a three-way conversation with the FBI. But it's okay saying this took place, that took place. This phone call happened, that I was talking to him and talking to her. Like, I could do a video or put a comment in saying, yesterday I spoke with Candice Cooley on the phone. And it's like, oh, wow. But do I have proof to say I was on the phone with Candice Cooley? No, because it didn't happen. I just said it did. Could that be the situation here and times in the past where people bullshit, maybe? I mean, the way you do one step further to make it more believable, you would, providing you didn't know what the actual person sounded like, their actual voice, you could get away with it under that. And show yourself in a video, even in a live stream, having a phone call with someone and saying, oh yeah, I'm just calling who, within the case, yeah. And it seems more believable, and you let them speak, so you hear their voice within the live stream or video, and providing it sounds kind of similar, if you're good at doing impressions, you could convince everyone, fool everyone. So it's okay saying these events happened, this phone call, this meeting took place, but did it really happen? Yes, no? I guess you could say the same about Candice Cooley. It's okay, Candice Cooley saying she had a meeting with Box Elder County, police here, Ellie there. Did it really happen? You just got to take her word for it. Just like how at times you take Ty Corbyn's word for it, or Jim Terry's, or Kurt Wadsworth's, and, it's hard to do at times, right? But yeah, Ty Corbyn popping back up, which is interesting, considering he's been a bit quiet. Glender, Ref News, I'm proud of you. You're not letting anyone bully you. The sheeples are upset because their approach isn't as yours. Yes, they may be successful, but you kind of bright as a flame with words. I am now an older lady at 65. My body has aged, but I still am fresh and have the mindset of my younger years. Some of us are gifted. Okay. And just talks about some other things as well, so that's very good of her. Glenda has popped in recently, but in terms of Glenda, she seems to be on a better level compared to, I guess, some of the rejects in the back. Glenda, the way she thinks, the way she understands stuff, she's doing well. Glenda is a good person. So if you do ever come across Glenda in the comment section, or if she does appear in the chat, I know she's got a default profile picture and, you could be a bit wary, but she is a good person, so you don't need to be suspicious towards her, okay? So that's all under control. She says she's 65. I think Ellenberg said she's 65 as well, so, and I'm sure there'll be other people out there who might be even older. I don't know who the oldest person is within the whole Dylan Rounds community case. I'm not too sure. If any of you know, feel free to list the name down below, or if there was a suspect, or if there was someone directly tied into the case and you know of them, feel free to mention it. Johnny Ripple, true crime, sleuth channels on YouTube equal losers and vile people. So, not quite sure exactly who he's referring to, maybe just talking in general. I think Johnny Ripple, at first, when I came across him, he was a little bit defensive, a little bit resistant towards me, but then the last few videos, he didn't seem as bad, so maybe that's been ironed out. But Johnny Ripple, if you want to be clearer, feel free to. Stoney, okay, I don't think we read too many comments out by Stoney because she doesn't always leave a comment, but we're not leaving any stones unturned, we're just going in. So let's see. Oh my God, my peeps in Warlight Wrath, I love you all the way, you. All handle Mr. X. What? You love Mr. X love handles? Ooh. It's crazy how they speak. I dare you to go one-on-one with Jim. See, I never got that opportunity. Well, I did, but he mute you and doesn't let you talk. All prove a bullying by both of them. They still have shit to say about me. Lol, all the lies on me, so it doesn't hurt, but I was their content for a while. Losers, Warlight Ref, do not battle this moron. Do what you're doing. You're winning the cause. They do not like it. How does it feel, Jim and Mr. X, when someone's content is dogging and bashing you? Laughing my ass off. My God. Stoney, the amount of times you're left your ass off, you're going to be left with none. My God, it's going to be as flat as a pancake. I think you need to start doing some more squats. Yeah. I'm joking. So shout out to Stoney. She might be here right now. She might not. I think she said she fell asleep last time, so a bit naughty, but there you go. I mean, Indiana has been quiet, but as she said, she's had a 3 to 4 day fast. Okay, it's not Ramadan a ding dong, no. But it's her time away from the, I guess, laptop or PC. It does make you think, though, Indiana doesn't have a TV. And she's away from the laptop. Oh my God. You're going to be turning feral. You're going to be turning like a wild animal, Indiana. You know what? I don't even blame you. I know exactly what you're doing, Indiana. You're transforming. You're adapting because you've realised that Wes, in recent times, since Wes has been off his chain, okay? He's got past the fence post. No more getting rammed into it. He's his own man with a plan. And he's not stuck in a van anymore, okay? He's just ploughing on in. He's going through all those fields. He's just reaping the rewards. He's pillaging villages. He's just, taking control, okay? Taking back control. And Indiana needs to step up, of course. So we will see the developments with time and see what happens. As for the situation of go here, go there, onto someone's channel, when you start seeing certain people's behaviour show, all one would do then is, trap oneself, and then it's kind of like self-sabotaging yourself, and it would go wrong and backfire. We've seen it happen with other people. We've seen other people getting attacked, internal, external, long term, down the line. And you've seen it with followers and viewers also getting attacked. Is it worth risking it all? Absolutely not. Okay. Anything else? Oh, Stoney popping up once again. What did she say here? Saw your comment, laughing my arse off. Was passed out, but on my bed. Well, at least it's better than being on the floor. I do have a bed. That's good to know, Stoney. Very interested. Although I do not collect super chats. Yeah, you don't collect them. You're not even giving them. My God, Stoney, what are you doing? Yeah, yeah, Stoney. Don't you think I forgot it? First, I was looking at the members list. Yeah. Like Karen at your service. I was looking at the membership list, WLW Angels, and it said a channel was recently deleted. Now, I know, don't be a sassy ass bitch. I know exactly why it's been deleted because of all the external drama, yeah. But I realize you're no longer a member. Oh my God, Stoney. My God, Stoney, how could you do this to me? It's really, really unfortunate. Poor Raffy. But, it's just one of those things, right? Oh my God, how many messages are here? We might as well just read them out, see what dodgy stuff happened. Joseph, I said you were sleeping it off. Maria missed you today. Maria? I think she managed to. Stoney, I thought you were missing in action along with me today. Yeah, you were. Yeah, I've been busy. Yeah. I miss my Raph. Oh, okay. Stoney, well, I can't help it. Mess is my magnet. People don't help situation. I've missed you. I'll definitely be there tomorrow. Hope to see you. Well, we'll find out, won't we, right now in the chat? Won't we, everyone? Everyone in the chat right now, say hello to Stoney, okay? Because she said she was going to be here. She promised, in a way. So we'll see, won't we? But when I'm not there, I've noticed certain people popping in that I've not gotten along with. Well, to be fair, I think when I'm sure Stoney was present a few nights before when all the key names, almost all the key names were all in at the same time and there was really no drama. So it wasn't that bad. Yeah. Also, Weezer, if you're there right now, Weezer, yeah. I know you said about your troubles with unblocking people. Were you able to resolve it in the end, or are you still trying to work it out? Leave a comment down below, just so we know the situation. Joseph, I love it when that happens. I'll definitely try to make it tomorrow. Yeah, I mean, this is the thing. Okay, he says, yeah, well, life happens, life. It doesn't stop Joseph, does it? When a back photo is shown or a chest photo is shown on a community tab, he rallies himself up, okay, to appear in chat early on, even extra early before everyone else. And it's like, Joseph needs bribing, basically. Okay. I'm joking. Yes, try, need your support when I make my jokes about people tomorrow. I didn't even know Stoney was making jokes. I thought she was just talking normal. Probably shit jokes. Oh, God. Think you need Gorilla Jack more than me? Water emoji. You're getting a bit wet. Can't imagine what Maria will come out with next. I guess that's open to interpretation now. Are you referring me to Gorilla? Is he a therapist? Oh my God, Stoney, how did you know that? Oh my God, Gorilla Jack. Come on, Gorilla Jack, you got to open up to Stoney now. You are a therapist, aren't you? What's this? Oh God, get off. I suggest West, but I thought Harry Beast was a little better suited, but you seem to do pretty well on your own. Okay, so basically Joseph is calling Gorilla Jack a hairy beast. Some kind of fantasy's developing there. I can't believe the attitude coming across in chat. Wow, really disappointing. Makes no sense to constantly attack. What the fuck? Awesome show. Oh, I forgot to like the comments. Oops. Better like Stoney because Stoney is going to stone me to death if I don't. There we go. We got MBS. I'm sure that's the name of a bank. Like Joseph Lloyd. But no, shout out to MBS. I think they're a new viewer that have come along. So it's good of them to pop up. Smooth Fishing, long time viewer. I agree, she called him. He can get mad all he wants, but fact is a fact. He needs to use something to wipe the tears out of his eyes. He must not have watched the video. True. And yeah, applies both ways. I mean, to wipe the eyes away, maybe you could use a little napkin, but if it's been used by pancakes recently, you might get a bit of salt in the eye, it might sting, might be a bit uncomfortable. And then we've got Goldie Khan, who, shout out to her, haha, they're not cool. Schoolyard bullying went out with moon boots, WWF and Hooters, creepy old weirdo losers. Anyone a member of Hooters in the chat? I don't know. Hooters and Scooters, gonna ride them on in. Yeah, fucking feel the throttle. Grr. Yeah. Anyway, when Goldie says WWF, do you mean World Wrestling Foundation, which has become WWE now, or do you mean the the panda thing, the animal rescue stuff, which it turned into, the WWF? What's it called? World Wide Foundation. I can't think of anything on the spot. Very disappointed by me there, but yeah. Okay, I think what we should do now is move on to that forum and just read through a page or two and see what's being talked about. Okay, so here we are, we're on page 14. Little bit dodgy this, because I don't know what the hell's gone on here. Oh my god, that's a lot of text all spaced out. Don't worry, we just scroll down. Actually, we're saving a bit of time as well. There we go. So, okay, first of all, what I do want to say, just in case you're new to the channel, hi, welcome. If you want to start from the beginning of the video, feel free to do so. If you want to watch live, feel free. If you want to catch up, then you can just catch up afterwards. It's all there. It's not going to disappear. It's not going to get locked behind a paywall. It's fine, okay? But purpose of reading through these forums is to look for any information that might have been missed, not been included, talked about since, okay? Anything we can question, anything we can pull out and turn into a potential new video down the line, recycling, upcycling, and see if we can get anywhere or clear up any misinformation or update as we go along, okay? So it's all there. Kind of like what Black Dove was saying, going back, looking back, kind of like what Shack Lady's doing. What they do, more auditory based, looking back at an interview, looking back at a call. What I'm doing, looking back at articles, because when it's visual, when it's word-based, I can pick up on it quicker and better. As for future interviews and videos where you listen to, I can do that, provided it's of a certain video length and not extremely long, so I can pay attention, okay? Just being realistic and honest. Yeah, I can follow it. But when looking back, it's just a little bit messy. Maybe the ones which I did look back at, which were somewhat easy to follow, with the East Idaho News Channel ones, right? Because they were structured well and of a certain length and the right questions were asked. There was no waffling in between, no umming and ahhing, and no disconnecting or over talking. So it was done quite well. It'll be interesting to see if there'll be another East Idaho News Channel update video, interview Candice Cooley, because not the last video, but the video before that with Doug, Candice Cooley did bring it up, saying that East Idaho News Ned Eaton wanted to do something with her, so that could be quite interesting and useful. Will Justin show up in it? You'd think so at this point, yeah, but time will tell. So I guess this is talking about, it's a little bit more recent compared to what we've previously read, you know, the previous pages where it was more to do with discovering the boots, the phone pings and trying to understand that. Where's the farm exactly? Where's the barn? So we've moved on from that and we're getting on to the family offering a $20,000 reward for a man who's disappeared after a weird run-in with stranger. So basically the way that's worded as, from what we now know of, Justin Rounds went into Motel to put that $20,000 reward up. The man who's disappeared, Dylan Rounds, after a weird run-in which occurred on the 25th of May with a stranger who is known as Chase Venstra. Okay. Is the $20,000 reward directly aimed for the finding, the capture of that stranger known as Chase Venstra? Not quite. There is a separate piece of reward money put in place. I think maybe by Candice Cooley or Justin Can't quite confirm exactly who was it, but it was put up $5,000. And there was a few posters as well created, which were visible on the Find Dylan Rounds Facebook forum page. Okay. Did they find Chase Venstra? Well, yeah, it was successful in the end, technically speaking, but the police, from what Kenny Scully said, didn't want anything to do with Chase Venstra. Chase Venstra was willing and offering to just walk on in with his hands open and say, come on, do what you need to do, or interview me, whatever. And the LE didn't really seem to bother or care. And that's interesting now, because you think about it. If you're going to say the LE does care and they are following procedures, you could say, well, maybe they're a bit awkward or stubborn down to the factors of distance, weather, environment, terrain. It's too hot to walk, it's too rocky and too unstable and uncomfortable, maybe. Oh, I'm too tired, it's draining this because of the distance. You know, you could use all those possible excuses to justify why they can't do this or can't do that, but then when someone like Chase Venstra openly says, I'm here, come on, or do you know what, I'll come down myself, make the job easier for you, and yet they still didn't seem that proactive or like, oh, okay, yeah, come on down. Seems to be lacking, right? Let's just carry on reading. Katie Wells of Rigby tells EastIdahoNews.com her nephew, Dylan Rounds, was last seen Saturday in Lucin, Utah, on the farm where he was working. Rounds apparently called several family members last Wednesday after having a weird run-in with a guy on a gravel road. Now, maybe we have read this. I'm going to read it brief, okay? Because I feel like I might have come across this before. In quotes, the man was walking down the gravel road barefoot. He flagged Dylan down. He was in his truck. He asked to use Dylan's phone and was acting erratically. Dylan felt the man was dangerous and may have been high. When he asked Dylan for a ride, Dylan did not give him a ride, Wells explains, but he did. Wells says the man was spotted in Motel, Nevada several days later asking about Dylan, and there are reports about the man got a ride to Dylan's trailer on Saturday. So, could have well been cleared up since, but that what I just read out, you know, feel free to clear it up yourself if need be, because, you know, first time impressions, if you was to read that, you could think, oh, that seems very suspicious, right? There's a few key points that do stand out here, somewhat of interest. Like how we said about maybe Chase Venstra may have been on drugs. He was experiencing some side effects possibly. Maybe had some psychological issues, or maybe the drugs triggered them. Okay? We have talked about it here and there in recent time and other situations, and that could well be the case. The fact that it says that he may have been high because he was acting erratic. Erratic behaviour, psychotic behaviour can be a side effect of, you know, fentanyl. So I'm not quite sure what drug Chase Venstra could have been on, but if he was on something, you know, if he's in contact with Aviles, he's been known to associate with Aviles, or they've had interactions in the past or in recent time leading up to Dylan's disappearance. Because Aviles is known for burglary, but also to do with drugs and stuff, maybe Venstra was given some. You never know. And that could have triggered something. But yeah. What it says, Wells says the man was spotted in Motel. Yeah, because he was taken back there. Several days later asking about Dylan. And there are reports that the man got a ride to Dylan's trailer on Saturday, which is the 28th. Now, is there anyone in chat right now that can confirm that or debunk it? Was that some kind of rumour spread by Kurt Wadsworth or not? Okay? Because this guy who we're talking about, this man, Chase Venstra, he did have the motive because of CCTV footage that at 7 a.m. in the morning, 28th, the day Dylan went missing, at Flying J's, Snowville. Then later on in Clinton or near Clinton, and then going into Ogden. So he was away from it. But if this is true, that someone reported Chase Venstra being at Dylan's farm in the Lucin area, at some point throughout the day, he might have come down from, let's say, Snowville, gone into Lucin, did whatever, and then went on into Ogden, approaching Salt Lake City, maybe. Does anyone think that, or is it just all BS? Because even if this can be debunked, oh, that never happened. Well, at least in recent times, there was talks referring back to the possibility that maybe, he did visit sometime in the day, because it's not too far away. It is possible to reach. Interesting. Do we need a map analysis for it? I don't know. Maybe I may have already done one about Chase Venstra possibilities. Is there anything else? We don't believe anything was ransacked, Wells explains. Dylan is missing, his phone is missing, and his wallet. Yeah, but the phone has been found with time. Wallet's still supposedly missing. Noting Dylan's age, Wells says some people seem to think Dylan ran off, but she suspects foul play because of the boots and the blood. Brackets, he's an old soul, farm boy at heart. All he wants to do is get up and work all day every day. He isn't interested in partying. He isn't interested in travel. He never dated in high school. He's not your typical 19-year-old, Wells says. But despite not dating in high school, Candice Cooley did say that Dylan played around with some girls. Now, that wording sounds a little bit dodgy, how you interpret it, but I think it meant just more in, hanging out and maybe just doing bits and bobs and stuff in between. But, weird how some people say, Dylan may have struggled with interacting with people, but then Candice Cooley saying, no, Dylan had friends, Dylan had this and that, and, so on. So it's kind of like back and forth. Whose side do you believe? Who is telling the truth? Dylan's mom, Candice Cooley, lives in Twin Falls, and his dad, Justin Rounds, lives in Yukon. Okay, interesting. Never heard about that to do with Justin, because I didn't know where Justin Rounds lived. Yukon. Is that Yukon, Idaho? Yukon, Utah? I don't know personally, because I've never searched it on the maps. Maybe I can type it in on Google later. But yeah, interesting. They're actively involved in the search and are offering $20,000 reward to anyone who finds him who knows where he might be. Okay. I wonder why that was so far up there. I don't know if I actually have read that out before. It's just weird how, because normally when you scroll down it goes right to the page, but there was a bit of an extract there. Interesting, but I guess there's no harm in reading over it again, because, I'll be honest, it can be a little bit difficult at times trying to figure out which article you have read before and which one you haven't, because end of the day, several articles can say the same thing, right, or word it just slightly different, and it's trying to figure out which one have you listened to specifically. It's a bit difficult at times when it all looks the same. Grandma Bear responding back. What's this in response to? The strange man. That would give him away, especially if it sounded like he knew it was going, which is a crimson flag. Crimson flag? What? Grandma Bear says, the thing is, the mom has talked to him and doesn't seem to think he is involved unless she is advised to play it that way. And I think he was basically cleared by an alibi, the CCTV. This is talking about Chase Venstra. It is odd over the timing and all, and supposedly he was asking about him days after the ride and looking for him, or his place or something. Yeah. Makes you wonder. I mean, that is, whether it happened or not, but if Chase Venstra, a few days later, wanted to meet Dylan, why? Does anyone know? We could do a poll right now. So after Dylan gave Chase Venstra a ride back to Motel, helped him out in a way, despite the trouble he may have been in. Then Chase Venstra wanting to find Dylan afterwards, a couple of days later, whether it happened or not. What do you think the motive was? To thank Dylan? Like, thank you, Dylan, for, helping me out a few days before. I really needed it. Was it to ransack him? Burgle off him? Was it to attack him? Criticise him? Verbal? Physical? What do you think? Feel free to vote right now. Whether it happened or not, what was the motive? Okay? I mean, maybe it was a simple thank you, but considering Chase Venstra has been known to supposedly help people out and then steal off them afterwards. Double crossing, right? You can never be too certain. What does Grandma Bear say? That's a good point. Or thought too. I'll tell you a recent true story and I'll try to keep it short. I'm just recently divorced. Oh God, we don't want to hear about your life story. Fucking hell. Let's just skip a bit of that. At a point, found a pair of boots in the house and a chest. This is to do with her story. They still look good, but had small holes, tears, unseen cracks within them. Now I have to find a way to dispose of, as they couldn't dispose of the garbage. The point is, these looked like perfectly good, almost new boots, and even when we noticed this, I didn't see anything wrong with them. It was my sister who told me they would no longer be waterproof. It just didn't look that bad, but on further inspection I agreed. They were cracked, split, where it mattered. The point also is Dylan likely didn't have an easy or legal way to dispose of garbage. If Ellie took the boots and the family couldn't closely inspect them very well, might have appeared to Mum as a very good newer pair of boots, but were worthless. I mean, the only thing you can say is whether the boots are truly worn or not, useful or useless. Candice Cooley said that the boots still appeared as fresh. And when she says fresh, I guess they don't look dusty. They don't look really dirty. Because, you know, if you leave something out there in the open with time, they will obviously wear, okay, through the weathering and so on, depending what type of material it is, of course. And even just the dust, the dirt out there. You've seen the vehicles, how they can collect dust and dirt. You've seen the trailer. You've seen inside the grain shed. It becomes very messy quick. So if the boots were left out there for a fair bit, they would have looked more aged and worn. But Candice Cooley said they were fresh. I don't know if she said they were new boots, but she said that they were fresh, as if they were not out there that long, okay? Kind of like if you had some kind of like maybe metal or a pole out there, and if it was left there for a very long time, it could get very rusty, but if it wasn't, then you could say, well, it's probably only been there for a few days or, you know, to a certain point. Anything else? Not really. Let's carry on. She goes on to say, I found this to be part of the story strangely missing. They haven't said he was a loner or anything, but it was made clear he didn't date in high school, didn't party now, etc. And that all he ever wanted to do was farm, was reliable, responsible, etc. And it was his passion. And yet he was at a bar/restaurant and it was said he would see or meet friends there. But there are no friends mentioned by name or questioned that we know of, I don't think, etc. Are they good friends or are they acquaintances or just people who frequented the same place? Friends are defined differently by each other's. Some say if they have 5,000 social media followers, they have 5,000 friends. I disagree. My thought or fear would be he was somewhat naive and trusted the wrong people and maybe thought them to be friends or wanted them to be. I don't know this to be a fact, I just wonder, speculate. That's how I was thinking, and I kind of think that still. Some people believe maybe Dylan wasn't able to maybe get on well with people the same way as others could, maybe. But the way I see it is Dylan may have had a small group from time to time of friends or associates, because that's just how it works for him. Not too many side responsibilities, not too many commitments because of his farming. Farming gets in the way, farming tops everything, right? Maybe he doesn't want to let people down, he doesn't want to hurt anyone, he doesn't want to cause any trouble, lead anyone on, so he just does his farming, and if he can work that around people around him, then that's even better. As for fast forwarding, going into Lucen, integrating a little bit within Motel, reaching out. I mean, okay, food-wise, to get down there to get food, first of all, but also a little bit of chatting with people, just a little bit, which is better than nothing. Coming across Kurt, and even if some people are very wary and suspicious of Kurt, Dylan did make contact with him and got on somewhat well, maybe, talking with Brenna, Don at times, because it's working for him. So he must have been able to work around things and people, work-related relationships and outside of that, for people to be even working for him to begin with. And even arguments, you know. I guess that's a little measure of seeing things. I know we can't actually see or hear it, but really, if you think about it, if Dylan was kind of quiet, kept to himself, but there was like arguments and bust-ups between Brenna, Kurt, Don and Dylan, or Don Hately and Dylan, it would have been interesting to see, did Dylan stand up for himself? Did he, speak back? Did he argue? Did he defend himself? Because if he did, that's a positive. That highlights he can talk when he needs to or when he feels the need. So it's not really lacking. Anyone can back it up, feel free to do so. As for someone like Weezer, Motel local, she did say that he would like sit in the back. Sorry, that was my drink gone. He would sit in the back. He would not talk too much, mind his own business. Okay. But maybe with the right people he was around, maybe he did get on better. Okay. I mean, was there anyone that witnessed Dylan communicating, interacting with Kurt, whatever it may be? Did Dylan seem comfortable, relaxed? What was his body language like? Okay. The bit about Dylan possibly being naive, I mean, this is what you could possibly reinforce. Candice Cooley in that recent interview saying how, yeah, Dylan kept the gun in his pickup alongside with the wallet, kept the vehicle unlocked. When you... Oh, God, a squirrel nearly got attacked by a cat. It ran away, good. But, Candice Cooley, when referring to that about Dylan leaving the vehicle unlocked with key items within, Candice Cooley said, well, Dylan just, was kind of easygoing, had that trust, thought the best in people or something like that. If that was the case, Dylan could open himself up to danger if he is a bit easygoing, a bit more relaxed, trust people too much. Maybe you can get screwed over around the wrong people in a place like that. Higher chances of it happening, do you think? Is it too soon to do another poll? Maybe. If I can remember to add in afterwards, I'll just say it now. Do you think that Dylan Rounds was naive / vulnerable in some way? Feel free to vote now. Anything else? Grandma Bear says, I've been asking from the start what kind of farm he and Grandpa have because the crop farming sounds recent and something he has been working at to get to be a success. So what was the farming operation of acres before that? Dairy farming, beef, cattle? No idea that I know of. I don't think it was anything to do with that. Still to do with crops. And what Candice Cooley said previously, like 2 to 3 seasons of it, somewhat successful. Okay, what's this one? It's pretty quiet as to Ellie and what, if anything, they have done for searches. I think early on the mums talked like they were out there less by far than 24 hours. 2 days for some hours each day and then called it quits search-wise. Last I knew, Texas EquiSearch was going to come in and was moving fast to do so, and I think Ellie had to agree to that. I haven't heard anything since, but I also have been pretty tied up these past handful of days. All I know from Texas EquiSearch, they only really came in probably, what was it? Was it November, December time, 2022? Let me know in the chat if Texas EquiSearch ever showed up before November of 2022, or if that was the first time ever, because I personally didn't pick up on it. Okay, what's this? As to digging or lakes too, no idea, and no idea what water sources, if any, are around there. They did drain Dylan's pond and check there, and I think searched what they said was the 5 mile or so radius around there. So, From how it's worded here to how it's worded in recent time by Candice Cooley, it seems as if they drained the pond on 2 separate occasions, with people in the background recently saying about how it's a spring or an underground one, it fills back up. Yeah. What I just want to say is, if it does regularly fill up and you're draining the pond, how do you prevent it? How do you prevent it from filling up again? Do you have to like block off the pipe? Is there a valve or something you can turn off? Or is it just down to doing it when there's hot weather so it works better? You know, what? Ariel, I think this is a new person. Nothing like a Bud Light at a bar counter. You're not even supposed to be at. Lol. Okay, so that's very helpful, that. I'd hope to still be looking. They could find his body, which could be first priority. This is June 23rd, okay? These comments. Wouldn't surprise me if she was. Small town gossip would interfere with the investigation. Let's talk about the mother. All right, I'll be damned if this hasn't crossed at least one of your minds, so I'll be the one to say it. I honestly think it could have been a farm accident that was someone else's fault, and instead of calling 911, they disposed of his body. That happens more than you would think. We need to confirm that everyone he knows has a solid alibi. At the very end, as a last resort, we need to raise suspicion about the cops themselves. I've only had to do that once, so it's not likely, especially since this is a good old America white boy. But you never know who's involved. No slander to wab boys. We love ourselves, or Dylan, or Hunter, but you know how authorities are. Okay. Do any of you believe it could have been a farming-related accident, but the person responsible, such as Brenner, panicked and just disposed of Dylan because he thought that was the best thing to do? Because he thought if he reported it, maybe he'd be the one accused? What do you guys think? Leave your thoughts in the chat right now. Okay, what's this one? Missing Dylan Brown's Utah investigators issue warning to anyone involved in Teen Farmer's disappearance. In quotes, if somebody is involved with Dylan's disappearance, they need to know. We're not going to go away. Chief Deputy Cade Palmer at the Box Elder Showers office told Fox News Digital Wednesday, if this takes months, if it takes years, we'll keep knocking on doors. Reading that sounds very hopeful and optimistic, right? Determined, standing the grounds, but it didn't seem to transpire. If he was okay, then he should have turned up by now, Palmer said. So we can't rule out that he's not okay, or that somebody may have been involved in his disappearance. The surrounding area on the Utah and Nevada border is full of old mine shafts, caves, tunnels, okay? Here we go. It says, the mother, Candice Cooley, said a professional cave diver had volunteered to help search some of those spaces. Complicating matters, Cooley said, are a number of false rumours and fake fundraisers circulating on social media. So it shows that it's been going on for some time, these fundraisers. We need a direction, evidence, something that's not a wild goose chase, because it's not good terrain out there, and it's not for people who just leisurely just want to come out and search, she told Fox News Digital. Over 100 degrees, winds get blowing, and people don't want you there. And people don't want you there. What? Who doesn't want you there? It's only Brenner. It's a ghost town. So it's not like you're going to go up there and have a mob of people chasing you out of the place. There's only like 3 to 4 people as described previous, right? So it's only Brenner. A bit exaggerated, that. Those people who are few and far between in the rural stretch west of the Great Salt Lake have offered little to investigators, Palmer said, which he said was surprising and strange. Wait, the rural stretch west of Great Salt Lake. West of the Salt Lake. Why are they using it in that terms of direction? I mean, do you know, like, you know, Motel has been looked at, right? People have been questioned to an extent, or a small extent. Lucerne, some of the people there. But what about further down south of Lucerne, the farms down there? What about east, further east of Lucerne? Anyone over in that direction? Have they been questioned? What about near that chop shop? You know, is there any people living over that way? Any trailers? Do they know anything of Dylan? I just feel like whilst Lucerne has been focused on quite a bit, why not look east or south? What about those two directions? Because it looks like north has been covered to an extent and west has been covered to an extent, but what about south and east of Lucerne? Huh? What do you think? We're not even getting tips, he said. We're not getting phone calls. Did I miss anything? Chief Deputy Palmer in Boxall County said he could not go into specifics about the investigation and that while they had not identified any suspects, they also hadn't ruled anyone out. He renewed his appeal to the public for help in finding grounds and issued a warning for anyone who may have harmed the teen. Investigators won't stop without answers, Palmer said. So that if somebody's laying low that was involved in this or knows something and they think they lay low long enough, we're just not going to go away. That's not going to happen. We're going to keep at this until we get answers. So reading all this, it sounds very good. It sounds very positive. It sounds very determined. But does it really mirror that true physical action in the case? Let me know your thoughts down below. Lol. Miller Lite. I don't do the rice beer, but I get... Okay, whatever. Stop fucking Grandma Bear. Always talking about the bloody alcohol. Oh my God, Linda. Linda Cushing. Give Grandma Bear a few tips of restricting oneself from alcohol. My God. If you don't know what I mean by that, a few pages ago now, in past videos, Grandma Bear kept talking about the bar and the alcohol and all the ins and outs. It was like they were living in it. Okay, that's just a little reference point there. What's this? Not sure why you make all of that. Sounds serious and meant, but it sure hints out or shows this is not a welcoming area. Yeah, not a welcoming area. But Lucerne is a ghost town, so it's not that it's not welcoming or that it is welcoming. It's just down to interpretation. You go there, it's quiet, it's dead, it's silent. Does it make you feel uneasy? Maybe that doesn't feel welcoming. Or because it's so spacious, quiet, peaceful, you do feel at home, you do feel relaxed. So is it just more down to personal preference? Ariel. So what I'm hearing is that we should be calling in suggestions and that we need to be the real fundraiser, GoFundMe. No. They've stated that they only want people to call with facts and information, not suggestions or rumours. The family have also stated repeatedly that they do not want any sort of fundraisers or donations. Okay. I think this is the final comment. Grandma Bear. Most likely, no, in most cases, I lean towards foul play. Not always, but if there is a good possibility of it, then for sure that is the way I lean. This one is no different. I think it is foul play. However, I came to realise the other day and have to realise when one stands back a bit and looks, so to speak, there really is not one bit of evidence of foul play here. There just isn't. That bothers me because I feel it is foul play, but this means too most likely that if it is someone covered their tracks well enough, they probably, even Ellie, couldn't be sure if it is foul play. And it also means if it's solved, it may be very hard to build a case without some real evidence. Well, with updates and time, they have said that they've been able to build up a pretty good case and they have found evidence and have also found some new physical evidence which hasn't been revealed yet. So there has been progression with time. Dylan's mom and dad are doing all parents should do and everything they can to find him and get the word out and stay on Ellie and searches, etc. I want to preface my next remark with this because I want it clear my next remarks are not meant to criticise but just to point out some facts. Everything we know about Dylan, his state of mind, his mood, his ways, his dedication, his habits, etc., comes from his parents. Really? Really? What, so Dylan's kind of cold and emotionless? Huh? Well, it depends which side you got it from, because Justin, from what Weezer said, Justin showed quite a bit of emotion, the father, and felt lost in his ways when looking for Dylan, so maybe it's not quite, yeah. Parents see their children often in their own light, and they do feel they know all as well. Parents of older children, mine are much older, do come to realise, I think, that we don't know all, and once a child is out on their own, even less do we know about their new habits, friends, and more. We also know Dylan said to family he did not give that man a ride, but it seems he did so. Well, he did. Yes, he did. Doesn't always share all with family or tell the truth, which is normal, of course, for any kid, adult, otherwise. But yeah, it's a key point. Maybe there are things, or there were things going on behind the scenes in the background with Dylan, with someone else, and he didn't want to share it with people. Maybe Kurt was the only one he opened up to. But the problem is with Kurt Wadsworth, if Kurt knows things about Dylan which no one else does, Kurt does a very bad job at times presenting himself because he's half pissed and he's missing a few teeth. I think a few of his teeth have gone running away to the nearest keyboard in Motel as the person plays the piano. The tune is not in sync, nor is his wording and his presence. So, really, all I would say is, if Kurt Wadsworth was truly innocent, he would have done everything possible to make himself innocent. So participating in that polygraph test, maybe continuously looking for Dylan, or just at least being sober enough to speak in the interviews, at least present himself in a certain way, not saying some of the dodgy lines which he may have come out with down the line, or contradicting himself. That does him no favours, okay? So if it came to that point where Kurt truly was innocent at the end of the day somehow, and he was like, see, I told y'all I was innocent. It's like, you didn't do a good job, though, presenting that, because first time impressions, people think the opposite. So, yeah. Anything else here? It says, his mom also said they first went down there thinking he probably stored the grain out of the rain, and something happened to him on his walk back. He hurt himself, broke a leg, bit by a snake. Paraphrasing. It was on other things like thinking the truck was power washed, finding the boots, etc. They came to think foul play quickly. None of these things, though, really are necessarily indicative of foul play, and since then many do think that the truck was pressure washed. Do not think the pressure. Let me read that again. And since then many do not think that the truck was pressure washed at all. And I think even his mum changed her thoughts on that, or started to. Has she changed her mind on it? It's not really been talked about since. Do any of you know if Candice Cooley agrees that the truck was pressure washed or not? Has she changed her opinion, her mind? It says, the boots, even to me, lost a bit of suspiciousness when hearing recently they were near a burn or rubbish area. So now isn't quite so odd necessarily either. The blood could even be from butchering or hunting if they did such. Even the pile of dirt can be from digging to bury rubbish, as it was said they do there. Yeah. The oddest things are no vehicles are missing, and the fake abduction story and claims he was at the bar another day after the one now. And that still doesn't mean anything really either. Just probably someone who doesn't like Ellie around, and someone who probably wasn't following all laws in his establishment, trying to maybe throw shade on someone who doesn't like, or point in another direction just out of habit and worry. This young man could have done something to himself and not been found. Unlikely, I know, based on parents' description of him, etc. But just putting the possibilities out there. Could have gotten lost or hurt and died and just hasn't been found yet, or is a victim of foul play, but again, with no obvious signs that it is. He could be holed up or hiding and left of his own accord. If a vehicle was missing, I'd say he may have had a vehicle accident, but they say none are missing, and they sure, I wonder, could he have taken the road and been offered a ride and then foul play? It was near the Memorial Day weekend. There were big parties going on around or at someone's home. Did he get his grain covered and go back to the bar the other day, or ride with someone to there or to the party? I don't know. He is missing, and that is a fact. There just isn't much to say that happened though, or that it was foul play. I haven't watched that last video yet. I should do and get a chance before I forget again. Maybe they do know more, and it is of course possibly they know more than we do. So foul play. I mean, with time, it has transitioned into a homicide case. Okay, so that must be some kind of indication that, you know, it is foul play, right? Homicide. Anything else? I'm thinking he went with somebody willingly and then something happened. Oh my god, read the long cards. Oh my god, how long does it go on for? There appears to be no theft unless he had a lot of money on his person, so the motive is also in question. Someone, I guess, could have had it in for him, or he had a sizable amount of money on him. Nope. The more this goes on there, I'm not so sure that finding out things where his dad's name leaves me thinking he did not have much financially, but hard to say. I mean, it was more in the bank, checks, money received from custom farming. He didn't have much money on him physically. Candice Cooley said that Dylan would draw out $140 per month, and that was it. Grandma Bear says, I think you are likely right, but when did he go with the person? Maybe someone did pick him up or give him a ride after securing the grain. Nothing apparently was disturbed in the trailer, etc., or taken. Did they then go back to the town and go to the bar even? That could fit with some other things where he and the other patrons, he was either there second day or wasn't. I mean, it's all really, I guess the only thing to highlight, if no other vehicles were used or have been used whatsoever, then you got to focus back on Dylan Brown's red pickup truck. If it was never pressure washed, then if it wasn't pressure washed, then maybe it wasn't used. It's not been used since the 27th coming back at night. This is the problem. You could start undoing stuff. What I will say is I'm not extremely confident about Dylan's red pickup truck. That's all I'll say. But then again, there was those remarks made about the track marks within Lucin, and I think confirming that it was Dylan's tracks. That's what I mean. There's just certain areas within the case I'm a little bit unstable about, okay? I think the 26th, 27th kind of makes more sense now with time, or at least in my mind. But the activity regarding Dylan's truck, what went on with it, someone definitely accessed the truck, but was it actually used? People could say, but the seat was adjusted, all-wheel drive was turned on, but those things can happen even when you're just going through the vehicle and not actually intending on driving it anywhere. You think about it. You crawl into the vehicle from the driver's side, I guess, may adjust the seat to be able to look behind it, to look around, underneath possibly, to get in, I don't know, to reach about. And as you're fumbling around in there, your hand or your leg, your body might catch the button which turns on all-wheel drive. Maybe. Yeah, sometimes you might turn the indicator on as you knock it with the side of your thigh. You never know. All I'll say right now, is there strong evidence to support the idea that Dylan's truck was used by someone else, building up to Dylan going missing or post-disappearance? Is there any proof? List it down below, because it's an important point, because if there's not enough proof, then it just opens up all other possibilities, right? As for it being Memorial Day, people saying that, you know, there was more witnesses out there, more people visiting, coming and going because it being the celebration time. Yeah, you think probably people want to be away from that. So if anything does happen, it's going to be away from it. So maybe that's the hint, the clue, the direction you'd be looking in. Anything else? I think you are likely right, but when did he go with the person? Maybe someone did pick him. Oh, did we read that one? Yeah, okay. He also could have went with someone at gunpoint. Allegedly had a gun, maybe. Kim's the final comment. When I went through my gun safety training, I was warned about how people will try to get your firearm. It's more common of a problem than you may think, so they might have gotten it away from him and used it against him. But Dylan's gun was returned back and was cleaned. And one of Brenner's guns is missing still, so, makes you think. Okay, so we're back here once again. Right now, I'm bent over backwards over the bed. And you know what that means when you bend over? It's time to do some searching at all kinds of things. Utah, once again. What do we even type now? Actually, first of all, what I need to say before we move on any further. If you've just joined or recently joined and you want to hear about Dylan Rounds, the case, looking back at it, questioning key points and generating new ideas, make sure to rewind back to the beginning. Okay? Now we are moving on to other things. Utah Motel. Would that yield any good results though? Because, at this point, I feel like maybe I have looked at them all. What about this? Motel 6. I've not seen this photo before. Do I have a photographic memory? No, but sometimes I remember things and I don't remember seeing this before. So we'll take a look at it. We've got a motel. It's about time. Come on. When's the last time we looked at a motel? We've looked at the food places. We looked at this. We're looking at all these food places. No wonder why Weedleby is in the shape she is at. Now it's time to just lay off the food, to settle down, relax on the bed. Maybe not Weedleby, because I don't think that bed would be able to handle it. But, for everyone else, I think it'd be okay. But already, we've got high-tech, innovative designs. This is just genius. You got a bed which is very low down, center low gravity. Great. As you're laying down on that bed with fucking flat pillows, almost as flat as Stoney's ass, you're going to be getting neck ache trying to look up at the TV up there. Which idiot decided to put a TV that high up? It's just a stupid idea. Put it on the table there so it's head height. My God. Clearly they are lacking in the giving head department here. Isn't that right, Maria? Unacceptable. We got almost like a Photoshop background out there. Not really much to see there. The wall, the warm tone kind of fits well with the bed sheeting with that orange stripe going across. That's pretty good. But hello, that fucking phone is outdated. Probably doesn't work. Oh no, you can see the cables. The cables are a disaster. They're just torn to shreds from all the little mice, all the little squeakers and rats. Oh, the little mice and the rats are coming in now. I'm sorry, there's no cheese for you. Oh, it's unfortunate. Oh, what are we going to do? Oh my God, what the hell's going on here? This is very, very... You can't say white. It's not exactly white. It looks dirty but clean at the same time. It's hard to explain. Maybe it's been bleached. But once again, we've got the towels, Missy. We've got the towels. Yeah. And even one folded up there. Nice. Oh no. There's no toilet paper left. It's running out. Oh God, the resources are becoming scarce now. Joseph, you better stock up on the toilet paper because the amount of people are going to be shitting themselves in recent time. It's going to be a disaster. You know what? It doesn't always have to be that form of stuff coming out. Let's just take in mind that recently, due to my videos making Stoney piss herself repeatedly, maybe Cleo in the background at times, even... who is your person? Bella V, Bellend V, okay? And some others in between. There's a lot of people pissing themselves. I don't know why. Is it definitely piss? Could be something else. But, end of the day, things get wet, okay? You need something to remove the wetness, okay? Good thing my Warlight Ref members only badges of towels are at disposal. Very handy. But in a situation like this, when you're in Motel 6 and you have no toilet paper, God, it's a rough ride. But at least I've got handrails. Yeah, we got the handrails for the extra grip. If you're feeling a little bit drunk at the time, you're in Bellavy's Drunk Alcoholic Anonymous Awareness Group live streams. Don't worry, you can grip onto these handrails. You won't be going anywhere. You'll be standing still. That's pretty good at this point. Yeah, oh my God, we got all the big boys out today. Yeah, I got a Coca-Cola. What's that one there? Dazani. Is that Middle East? I don't know. Calories count. God, don't remind Weedleby. Let's move on. Shit, a photo. What's this? Your morning charge up for no charge. Wow. Whoa. I'm absolutely mind-fucked. Wow. So you're telling me I can be charged up from the rear end and I don't even have to pay for it? Yes! Come on! What escort service is this? Where's the fucking phone number right now? It's not even written on the paper. Oh my God. What a disgrace. In the name of Mr. Impetuous, that is clickbait, man. Come on. What the hell? I thought they were CCTV cameras. I was getting mixed up. Card readers, yes. Yeah, CCTV camera up there. Dodgy Samsung TV. I think there were a choir group singing there. Oh, no, wait, hang on. Oh, my God. Is that indoor arena football? Phew, not many people turning up for it. Don't blame them. Let's move on. Oh, we're back into the bed. Oh, did they finally listen to me, huh? They decided to lower the TV down so there was a bit more headroom. See, Maria, look, adjustments can be made. If you're having trouble with, head, it can be resolved. And I think they've tried. Okay, so, better than nothing. Oh my God, I just realised, technically, there's no chair in the corner of the room. Yes, they've listened. They've listened. That's perfect, that, because who wants a chair in the corner of the room when you're sleeping in bed? I mean, what's going to happen? Ellen Berg is going to show up sitting down in the chair in the corner of the room as you wake up with a towel on, and then to stand up and you think, oh God, where's this going? It's almost like the Titanic. The iceberg has arrived. Oh my God, I'm going to plow into the iceberg. My God, Ellen, didn't think you were ready for that. Oh my God, this is too much. I cannot handle it. Okay, so even two beds and there's no chairs facing the bed. That's good, but oh no. The TV, wrong height once again. Oh, come on. Oh, okay, this is a different angle. Look at all those towels, Missy. Yeah. Oh my God, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh yeah. That's perfect. All clean white towels, that's good. Who was it now? Was it Weedleby that said she was the one in all these bedrooms? I don't know. Oh my God, what's she been doing? But actually, what was that then? Oh yeah, we had a fridge or a freezer. Come on. What's that, a vibrator? Don't know. It's near the phone. Actually, what are the locks on the doors like? Not great, not great. Anyone could plow on through them. What do we have down there? We've got the CrossFit. Yeah, CrossFit. Best place to not get injured. Of course. No. Nice mountains ahead. Oh no. No. No, I didn't think we would ever come to this. Oh no, Missy. Oh no, this is really bad. This is really bad. Okay. It was kind of bad enough that time where we saw the random discarded used pants on the floor. But in the middle of the hallway, this is a crime scene. Who desecrated those beautiful, soft textured, welcoming, enticing, alluring towels of innocence and purity? Who would do something like that to them? Oh God. Oh no, the poor towel on the floor. Look, that towel is in pain. It needs some kind of recovery. Look at that. He's fucking dropped the towels on the floor. Oh no. Huh, is that person responsible? Huh? Are you responsible for that? Are you proud? Are you happy what you've done? Towel lives matter. God, I'm going to report it to your manager. Petty ass bitch. Why is the exit sign on the floor? What the hell? Exit there. Exit down here. Oh, is that little sign for the little minions that come walking on? Oh, it's probably for the rats. I realised the rats. So This motel is very inclusive. It welcomes all kinds of people, from tall people like Wes, 6'2", built fucking godlike, and then the little mice and mouses. Let's see, the little exit sign, little cat flap through the door to walk through. And then here comes the kitty cat. Yeah. Come on, eat them up. Okay, I don't care about this reception. I just want to look at more stuff. Oh, Joseph. There we go. Joseph left his laptop on. Oh, he's still signed in. What's this? Joseph looking at Grindr, trying to search for more photos of Black Dove. Huh? Oh, I see, Joseph. Was that last video I did not good enough? You wanted more photos for research purposes? Oh, Joseph, what are you like? At least turn off your laptop next time, because anybody could access it. Oh, what's that? The hairdryer is going for a quick blow. Blow dry, hairdryer, I mean. He's got his little vibrating controller there. His cables are on the floor, completely ransacked by mice. It's probably why Joseph left. He had to leave quick. He realised all the drama was coming into the chat. I wouldn't be surprised if Joseph has ran away. He's probably not even in the chat right now to witness this. Wouldn't surprise me, because if there was earlier drama in the chat today, or tonight I should say, he probably couldn't handle it, but understandable. Yeah, those bedsheets are a little bit messy, bit of action. Oh, God. Oh, God. Motel 6, you are not disappointing me today. I am so grateful for this. Just like how I am with the super chats. But, you know, we've not been with motels for a while, right? So it's a nice, welcoming party, and it looks like it's already been underway. So they've had to write with a little fucking pencil saying trash on it. Ooh, I didn't know what that was used for. I thought I was supposed to stick my head into it. Oh, fucking idiots. What's that? Pale ale. Oh, yeah, it just rhymes. That's really good. What's this? Towels. No towels. Yeah, damn right, no towels. They should not be put in the bin. They should be treated with more respect. Oh, God, Missy. Missy Zavenia, you need to go down there and rescue those towels right now, because this is just not good whatsoever. All paper on the floor. We've got an envelope there, probably saying you're in debt. Yeah. The fucking towel mob are coming after you. Okay, is that it? Oh, I mean, it was good enough. I think we'll leave it there, because we're on a good roll. Okay, so it's appeared to have got very dark very quick, and I didn't turn the light on, so it looks like I'm maybe kidnapped, okay? Maybe I've been kidnapped and I've been locked in Stoney's bedroom, or maybe I'm locked in the cellar, the dungeons of Maria's pad. Who knows? Or maybe I am, I don't know, in some random cave. I don't know. We'll leave it there though, okay? Hope you found this video interesting. I do believe that the forum page this time, the Dylan Brown's discussion, was a lot better, you know, compared to previous ones we've looked at. So we're seeing a shift and change of what people knew of at the time and what was developing or coming through. It could be a way of filtering out the BS, hearing it or seeing it visually rather than all interviews and calls you are supposed to believe in and trust, right? So that could be of some use. Leave your thoughts down below of all the questions I asked you in this video, and feel free to answer them down below. Share your thoughts, opinions, and additional points of view too in the comment section, okay? I think we will leave it there for now. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye and good night for now.